Hi, Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah. We're going to finish up this Torah portion study with the beginning of chapter number 8 and verse number 1, which reads, "And Elohim remembered Noach and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him on the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided." Elohim remembered. He can't forget. And it's not as though Yah was unmindful of what had transpired on the earth, what had taken place. It's not as if he had put Noach and all that were with him on the ark out of mind, but it is an act of choosing to act based on remembrance. The Hebrew word zakar, to mark or to be mindful of, to remember. During a time of judgment, Yah does not forget us. Most of us would anticipate in these last days to be those that are turbulent, the foundations being shaken. There is a prophetic writing that suggests the earth moving back and forth, reeling to and fro like one that is drunk. Some have taken that verse to suggest that the earth is going to be corrected on its axis, and we're going to go back to a 90-degree axis again. We will see. But the days that are ahead of us, the times that are ahead of us, if present-day reality is any indication of the direction that we're going, when we can't figure out what gender we are and which bathroom to use, we got some turbulent days ahead of us. But in the midst of judgment that comes to correct the depravity of man, Yah remembers us. And let us be mindful of this, that judgment does not come indiscriminately or without some design. It has an intended purpose, and Yah knows what he's doing, even in a time of judgment. And when we cry out to him, that even in judgment, he will remember mercy. So this verse says that Yah caused a wind to blow over the waters. Where have we seen the Ruach blowing over waters before? It goes all the way back to Bereshit, Torah portion Bereshit, or Bereshit, Genesis chapter number 1 and verse number 2, where we see an earth in a state of chaos and upheaval, a state of fruitlessness and being a wasteland. And the Ruach hovered over, brooded over, I like to say incubated over, impregnated that atmosphere with righteous energy, so that when the word of Yah would come forth, then creative order and design could be instituted. Here we see something very similar. The earth is covered with water, and the Ruach is blowing over the waters of post-judgment. Now, does that mean that Bereshit 1 and 2 indicates a time after judgment? I'll let you make that call. I'll just say that that's plausible thought, possibly. We don't know what, if anything, may have existed prior to that, and I don't want to get into that discussion today. Too deep to ponder it for the moment. When the wind was blowing upon the waters, Noah didn't just open up the door and say, "Let's go." There was still an extended period of time until the effective judgment could be overcome. The process for Noah included sending out a raven. The Hebrew word here, orev, it's not necessarily that it means black. It actually means mixture. So there was that which represents mixture being sent out in order to discern whether there was dry land or not. A raven is an unclean bird, but Yah can use a raven for righteous purposes. Let's consider Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet. It was ravens that brought him bread and flesh in the morning and in the evening. They are scavengers. They go and look for debris and remnants of food for themselves. But here they're bringing whole food to the prophet. Yah causes an animal or a bird to act somewhat contrary to nature. Here, the raven, if it represents mixture, immediately our minds will say, Yah's against all mixture. And when it comes to mixing things with his name, with his character, when we seek to compromise the quality and the characteristic of who he is, yes, there is a resistance of mixture. But there is a mixed multitude that Yah redeems. And at this point, you and I are not pure blood anything. We're all DNA mutts of some sort. We have had our bloodlines so integrated with peoples of so various nations and lineages. There's nothing to be said of us, but we're a mixture. We're, especially here in the United States, we're a melting pot of peoples. Theoretically, then, what the raven represents is you and I, a people of mixture, being sent out to see if dry land has appeared. And a way of thinking, a way of application here, we're looking for the kingdom. Has it come yet? The raven is replaced by the sending out of a dove. One that is pure, one that is holy, one that is representative of the Ruach HaKodesh. And the word dove here is the word Yonah, the namesake of the prophet. There's an interesting verse in the book of Yonah, chapter 2, and verse number 9. But I slaughter to you with the voice of thanksgiving. I pay what I have vowed. Deliverance, Yeshuatah, a form of the name Yeshua. Deliverance is of Yahweh. Another translation would say Yeshua is Yahweh. The realization of this connection of who Yeshua is caused a wayward prophet and the bowels of a great fish to be cast out where? Dry land. I find it interesting. I find it very interesting then that this Yonah, this bird of quality like the Ruach HaKodesh, goes and proclaims then the message. Yeshua said that when the Ruach HaKodesh comes, he will testify of me. Not of himself, but of me. The command in Acts chapter 1, verse 8, you're to go into Judea, Samaria, and then into the uttermost parts of the earth. But first, wait until you be endued with power from on high, which you shall receive not many days from now. So after they had the infilling of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Yonah, then they were put out on dry land to carry the message, deliverances of Yud-He-Vav-He. Yeshua is Yud-He-Vav-He. The Yonah, the dove, returned with an olive branch in its mouth. The olive branch. That which indicates Israel. And is this somehow then connected to Romans chapter 11 and the olive tree? We'll know that the kingdom has come when the Ruach brings signs to us from the kingdom of the existence of Israel. Yeshua is of Yahweh, puts us on dry land, a part of the kingdom of Am Israel. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great Shabbat. We'll see you again next week.